Hi, I'm Dr. David Santos with the Santos Family Farm. We want to talk about soil today. And my background is I was originally an agronomist. When I got out of college, agronomist, soil scientist, worked for a couple government agencies, consulting agencies, was a licensed California crop consultant. So done a lot of this stuff, a lot of experience with fertilizer, and I got involved in using more natural methods of adding, really making your soil more healthy. And I've been able to use that for many years. After that, I worked mostly in the feed industry. But I want to talk about what we've done on our farm to produce, just to be able to get more ground, more fertile ground, to really just add to what we're able to do with our small acreage homestead. So just to back up several decades here, this is kind of what we had to work with when we first showed up on this end of the property. Basically, there's no dirt, and if you dug down here, what you discover is there's shale about that far underneath. And what we think is most of this was scraped to build the highway. You can see where the highway is elevated a little bit. So on half our property, this is what we had to work with. Just no soil at all, no fertility, no drainage. So it causes water issues and really just missing out on half of our property. So I want to show you where our original garden is and one of the reasons why we bought the property. So we can see here the lawn that is sometimes pasture and sometimes lawn. This is the half of the property with deep soil. You can see just where we edge this, there's lots of soil to go. And when we moved in and we first looked at this property and bought it and moved in, one of the things we saw when we liked the property was this garden was all tilled and there was hand line running across it, so sprinklers are running, and we're looking at this soil and this is what we got. So this is what we had to work with on this half of the property. So it's what this is. It's a really nice, what I'd call a sandy loam. So the sandy loam with some good organic material in it, really dark, deep dark colors, and very fertile, so you can grow anything in this. It'll work in our growing season, but even like something like potatoes will do really well in this because the soil is so deep. It's fertile, has great drainage all the way through, so when you irrigate, water doesn't hit any kind of a pan and just sit there and cause your potatoes or whatever to have some kind of rot. So that's why we bought the property. So we had this sort of tension between half of it's great, really a third of it's great, and 2/3 of it are really kind of a problem. So I'll show you how we solved some of those issues. So I don't know if you've seen our video on when we built our high tunnel, but we needed a lot of dirt to fill in, make a pad of fertile soil inside of our high tunnel. So how we accomplished that was what you see here, only the pile of dirt that we used for the high tunnel encompassed this entire area and was taller than I am. And what we did is really just scrape all of our pins. You can see horses here. There were hogs behind me. And we scrape all of those. We'll add in additional organic matter, whether it's straw or whatever. All that can be tilled together because what we want to duplicate is the soil that you saw. Fortunately, we're able to do that without bringing in soil. But you definitely can bring in sand. You can use percolite, other alternatives to give you some texture to your soil. You need that texture in order to get drainage. Otherwise, you just have a clay pan basically. If the soil's too heavy, that means too much clay or silt. So if you have that situation, you're scraping and you have a lot of clay or silt, you need to add more organic matter, or you can just add something like sand. So what we do when you scrape manure, you really need it to be sitting for a year. It really just has to sit. Otherwise, it's not going to be that fertile. You need really, what's happening is the organic matter is breaking apart, and as it breaks apart, it releases those nutrients that are bound up in the structure of the plant, the organic matter. That gets broken up, and that's what creates your soil structure as well. Peat moss is a good example, something else you can add to soil if you're making your own soil. So from here, I want to show you where we took this and applied it in a couple different spots. So we're in the high tunnel, and we're sitting on a pad that's really about 2 to 2.5 foot deep of soil, sitting on top of that what's basically just shale, so rock, which is pretty much no water penetration at all. We can show you what we worked with. We added the soil. It had been sitting for a year or two, and you see what it looks like here in some of these holes. Pull up another one here. And it's really hard for you to see the texture of it, but what you see is this is really a whole lot like what you saw outside. I'll see if I can get a more moist piece. So you can see the richness of it. You got some root system running through there from last year's plants, but dark, deep, loam, just a little bit of sandy texture to it. So this is perfect. It'll till really easily. It's got enough clay and silt to hold its structure when it's got some moisture, so it's not going to stop the penetration of any irrigation water. So this is right exactly what you're looking for. And you can do that just we showed you outside. We'll just come out here and show you. On this side, we did the same thing. There's potatoes growing here. This is the same stuff that's been planted. It's been tilled up, planted, and watered. So you can see how much it looks like the natural soil where we had the original garden. You can see you do this, and it'll hold some structure. That's what you're looking for, but it'll still break apart pretty easily. That's telling you it's loam with a little bit of sand in it. So you can go from there, and you see two places. You see a small bed here, you see the high tunnel, and you can take the same thing and do a much bigger scale as you gather up your dirt and save it for a while. This would be one of the pumpkin patches. And you can see I just grabbed some of this soil. Really, my soil science teacher would kill me. I called it dirt a minute ago. You never do that with a soil scientist. It's always soil. Dirt is what's on the bottom of your boots or your kitchen floor after your probably your husband just came in. Maybe your kids. You see it has that structure when it has a little moisture, holds it, will break apart, and pretty much what you're looking for. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Please like and subscribe. My wife will be very happy that I added that.